What is up, everybody? We welcome to the channel. Today we are ranking She-Hulk's hero cards. If you have not yet, please check out the gameplay of me taking She-Hulk through all 4 aspects. I do not own the pool aspect yet, so that is not on there. Please go watch that if you'd like. Otherwise, let's continue on with her hero rankings. The first, we always go over the hero cards. And for her hero side of her main card, I like to play. Now let's go over to the actual page. So She-Hulk, she's a 1/3/2. She's an Avenger, Gamma. You even lift response. After you change this form, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So I put her as 3. What's my 3? Like to play. So what I like about this card is the 3 attack. And also, when you flip her, she automatically does 2 damage. So if you flip to this form and attack, that's 5 damage out of the gate right there. Hand size is 4. That's very limiting. I think because of the 3 attack and the flipped response, that kind of covers for it a little bit. And her hit points is 15. I think that's another good cover for the hand size 4. While I was playing with her, I could still do a good amount of stuff with the hand size of 4. She has some decent cards at a low price that we could pay for. The thwarting is kind of rough, but I was able to manage. There was only one time which I was actually Justice where I needed to use some thwarting stuff, which the Justice actually helped out real good there. Moving on to her Alter Ego form. Alter Ego I have as play if able. So Jennifer Walters, she's a 5 recovery. Attorney and Gamma, I object, interrupt. When threat would be placed on a scheme, prevent one of that threat. So the 5 recovery I really like. Even though I didn't use it much, but when I needed to, it helped out quite a lot. But I kept forgetting to do the interrupt when threat would be placed on the scheme. So I was gonna put it on rarely play, but because it was my own mistake of forgetting to do that, I decided to put her up one, kind of give it to her. Other than that, that's all I can really say for the Alter Ego. Moving on to Hellcat. Hellcat we have as a 2 as well. Look at her stuff. She's a 3/2/1/3. Okay, and her action, she's an Avenger, and her action is return Hellcat to your hand. Now, I played this a few times, and her thwart really helped out. That's mainly what I used her for. And also the fact that I could return her to my hand as just an action. So you can deal 2 damage to her, and then bring her back to your hand, and if you're able to, just play her out again. So you could technically use her twice in one turn if you had the resources. So she was under play if able. Next is Gamma Slam. Where do I have that? Right here? Is that Gamma Slam? This is going to be Love to Play. Oh, it's going to be on the next page. Gamma Slam. It's 4-cost card, attack, superpower, hero action, deal X damage to an enemy to a maximum of 15. X is the amount of damage you have sustained. So if you watched my game, like the first, maybe it's the first 3 games, I drew this in my first hand, so that was a real downfall. But when I was able to use it, it came in clutch to help take Rhino down really quickly. So most of the time when I was playing She-Hulk, I didn't want to heal her that much because I wanted to use this near the end. Because this is just a bonkers card. It does cost 4, so if you have it with on the She-Hulk side when you only have 4 cards, hopefully you have like Avengers Mansion or Helicarrier out there to help reduce the cost of it so that you can play it. That's all I really have for that because I love playing it. I'm sad it's only one. There's only one of them, but it is what it is for decent cards. Moving on to Ground Stamp. Ground Stomp. Ground Stomp. Is that this one? I think so. What it is? Is rarely play. So I put this in rarely play because I think it all depends on. I was going to give it don't play at all because I didn't play it at all during my four games. but I moved it up because it all depends on the situation and especially who you're playing. I was playing Rhino, so there weren't a lot of minions out there. I figured if you're playing someone like Ultron, this would be a great card to have, especially if you're overrun with drones. So I decided to bump it up. But for me, in these 4 games, I rated it as I guess, a 1. I count that as a 1. As a rarely play. It's 2 cost, so it's pretty fairly cheap. And it's a good way to knock off tough on off a lot of enemies as well. Moving on to Legal Practice. Which one is that? Is that this one? Oh, it's that one. Legal Practice. Like, I put that under rarely played because I played it twice, I think, throughout my games. And that's only when I really needed to. It's an alter ego action. Choose and discard up to 5 cards from your hand. Remove 1 threat from a scheme for each card discarded this way. So it's pretty good for removing a lot of threat at once, but that is limiting your turn to just doing that. I mean, it is possible you could pair this up with, shoot, what card was it? Split Personality. Yeah, you could play whatever cards you have, then play Split Personality, and then do Legal Practice, possibly, depending on how many cards you have, because this is still a cost of 3. But yeah, I play this more so than Ground Stomp, but still it's a card that I more likely will use to pay for something else. And then we are on to 1-2 Punch. This one. 1-2 Punch I put as a love to play. Okay, it's a 1-cost event. Response after you make a basic attack using your attack, ready She-Hulk. So I use this every time it came into play. That's an easy 6 damage. And if you flip to hero form, that's 8 damage out on 1 turn. And whenever I had this twice in my hand, I would use it as much as I could. So yeah, just knocking out what, like a quarter to half your villain's health on the first go if you have this. That's one. It's amazing that it's just one. It costs 1, I think. So I put this in the top tier. Love to play. Can I move this up just a layer? I don't know where the little cursor is. Or should I either? All right. Anyway, moving on to, was it Split Personality? Yeah. This is Like to Play. So when I was first looking at her cards, I've only played her a couple times before this. I wasn't quite sure how this card would work out, but then I started to actually synchronize with it, I guess. I would save my own flip to do this. So I'd be in hero form and I would play as many cards as I could while still having enough to play this and doing any damage I could. So attack, and then I would use Split Personality to get a free flip. Unless I'm playing this game completely wrong. Either way, to get a free flip. Then I'll draw back up to 6, play whatever I could, and then flip back over for another 2 damage. So I would play this as often as I could. I think there's only 1 in here. So as long as I had the resources, I would try and synchronize for both Alter Ego and Hero with this card. I put up Superhuman Division, Law Division. This is put don't play. I didn't bat my eyes at this one. I didn't play it at all. It's 1 cost, Alter Ego action, thwart, exhaust, Superhuman Law Division, and spend a mental resource. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. Now, if you're playing a villain who has multiple side schemes and a fast main scheme rate, this probably would have been a lot more helpful, but for Rhino, I did not use it. So sadly, I didn't, like I said, I didn't use it. So it's very low scale on my tier list, which is don't play at all, which is a 0 to me. I mean, you could put it out to thin your deck a little bit to get the better cards, but it was more of just a cost resource to me, which is sad. I would like to fully use all the cards in a Hero Packs deck, but this one just never got the opportunity to shine, I guess. I'll have to play She-Hulk with other villains. I did play her against Sinister Motives. I don't think that one's aired on YouTube. It's been a while since I played that game, but I don't know if I played this at all. Wait, did I play She-Hulk with that? No, that was Spectrum. I don't know what I played against her. Oh, anyway, moving on. Focused Rage is next. Which is this one? I put it number 3. So, like to play. Hold on. Like to play. It's a 3 cost upgrade. Exhaust Focused Rage to take 1 damage, draw 1 card. So there's 2 of these in the deck. I would play this if I could. Well, no, I would play this because you take 1 damage. You want to do that. That way, when you get Gamma Slam, you have that damage to output. So this damages yourself to possibly put out more damage, and it allows you to draw 1 card. So if you are on She-Hulk, you start with 4 cards. You can, if you have both these out, you can draw back up to 6, or vice versa. If you start Alter Ego, you have 6 cards. Flip to Hulk, do that 2 damage, 2 more damage to yourself, 2 more cards. You have 8 cards to mess around with, which is really good when you're doing something like when you're using, what is it, split personality, and that's just another what? Depending, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, like another 4 cards, so like 12 cards you can play on your turn, possibly. Well, not, but you know what I'm getting at. So yeah, I really like playing this one. I put that as like to play, yeah. And then last but not least, Superhuman Strength. This was a 3 as well. Let's go down. It's a 2 cost upgrade. She-Hulk has +2 attack, force response after She-Hulk attacks, discard Superhuman Strength, and stun the attacked enemy. So you play this out, you have 5 attack to go on. The thing I don't like is obviously it discards after the attack, which is fine. I guess it's 2 cost cards, so I guess that's how it possibly evens out. And then you stun the attacked enemy. This was very good when I was getting real low in health and Rhino was going to come at me, and so I played this, and he was stunned for the next turn, giving me the opportunity to play a Gamma Slam. So this one was what I like to play. Like, yeah, I like to put it down. I usually needed to make sure what was it? Like, if I didn't want to use it right away, I would attack first and then lay it down, because it is a forced response. So if you didn't want to use it, but you wanted to play it, because you wanted to make sure you played all your cards, you'd have to make sure you attacked and then laid it. Otherwise, you gotta use it. Which I think I had to use it for a couple minions sometimes, which is fine. So that is all 15 cards. I know there's only actually 17. Well, no, technically 16. One's a flip. But anywho, 17 faces of a card. So yeah, I enjoyed She-Hulk very much. Her overall score is 6 out of 10. I thought she was going to be higher when I was playing her because I was actually enjoying playing with her, but some of the cards just didn't shine in, I guess, the scenario that we put her in. So I will most definitely have to do a different scenario next time I do this. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year, but the further along I play with other villains, I should hopefully be able to play these more often and get a better feel for them, and hopefully she'll be higher up on the list, because when I was playing with her, I thought she was going to be close to what I rated Spider-Man and maybe even Venom, but the cards just didn't shine for me during this scenario. So yeah, that is my ranking of She-Hulk. If you like this content, please put it in the comments. This was my own opinion. Please comment what you thought she would have been out of 10. I have a whole system of how I come up with that number too. So if you'd like to know that, let me know in the comments and I'll explain it in the next video. Otherwise, next Sunday, the next hero we'll be digging deep into. I don't know who that's going to be yet, but it should be a good time. All right, thanks for hanging out. Deuces.